All right, close your eyes for a moment and imagine this. Your life in all its complexity, every choice, every moment of triumph, every failure, is destined to repeat. Again and again and again. Now think. Could you live with that? Could you wake up every day knowing you'd face the same struggles, feel the same pain, relive the same joys? The ancient philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche posed this exact question. He called it the eternal return, and it's a concept that shakes the very core of how we view our lives. You see, most of us live with the idea that life moves forward, that every step we take is part of a journey toward some distant destination, some elusive dream. But Nietzsche asks us to turn that thinking on its head. What if life didn't move forward at all? What if it was a circle, repeating itself eternally? Would that realization change the way you live? This is where the magic happens. The eternal return forces us to confront our lives with brutal honesty. It's not about waiting for a better tomorrow or hoping that time will wash away the things we wish we could forget. No. It's about looking at each moment, the chaos, the beauty, the pain, and asking yourself, if I had to live this moment forever, how would I feel? Now, before we dive deep into how this impacts you, let's talk about chaos. Chaos. That word alone stirs up a whirlwind of emotions, doesn't it? Chaos is what keeps us awake at night, staring at the ceiling, our minds racing through problems, anxieties, uncertainties. Chaos is what crashes into our carefully made plans and throws everything off course. It's the unexpected. It's the painful. It's the uncontrollable. But here's what Nietzsche wants you to understand. Chaos is not your enemy. In fact, he believed chaos is the birthplace of creation, of transformation, of life itself. You must have chaos within you to give birth to a dancing star. That's what Nietzsche said. And let that sink in for a moment. We spend so much time trying to run away from chaos, trying to organize, control, and fix everything. When maybe, just maybe, the real power lies in embracing it. Maybe within that chaos lies the seed of something beautiful. Maybe the struggles you're facing right now are the very things shaping you into the person you're meant to become. Let me ask you this. Think back to a moment in your life when you were struggling. I mean really struggling. Maybe it was the end of a relationship. Maybe it was losing a job. Maybe it was a time when you felt utterly lost. Now think about what came out of that moment. Maybe it was a new beginning, a lesson learned, a strength you didn't even know you had. The truth is, it's in those moments of chaos, those times when life feels like it's breaking apart, that we often discover who we really are. When you're standing in the middle of the storm, with everything crashing down around you, that's when you find your strength. That's when you find your purpose. Nietzsche's concept of the eternal return asks us to embrace that storm, to choose it. It dares us to look at the most difficult moments in our lives and say, yes, I would live this again. Now, that's not easy. It's not comfortable. But when you adopt that mindset, you start to see your life differently. You stop running from the chaos. You stop trying to avoid the hard parts. Instead, you lean into them. You learn to love them. Nietzsche had a phrase for this. Amor fati. It means the love of one's fate. Not just accepting your fate, but loving it. Loving every part of your life, every experience, every challenge, as if you had chosen it yourself. Because when you do that, when you embrace your fate fully, even the darkest moments become something powerful, something beautiful. Imagine what your life could be like if you loved every part of it. Imagine what it would feel like to look at the hardest things you've been through, the chaos, the pain, and say, this is mine, and I wouldn't change a thing. That's the essence of the eternal return. That's the power of amor fati. So, how do we apply this to our daily lives? How do we turn this ancient philosophy into something that can help us navigate the modern world? It starts with a simple shift in perspective. Instead of seeing chaos as something to fear, see it as a source of strength. Instead of running from hardship, embrace it. Every time you face a challenge, ask yourself, what is this teaching me? How is this shaping me into the person I'm meant to be? And let's take it a step further. Tonight, before you go to bed, I want you to reflect on your day. Really think about it. Were there moments of chaos? Were there struggles, frustrations, things that didn't go the way you wanted them to? Now, imagine that you had to live that day over again, and again, and again. Would you be satisfied with how you handled it? Did you face the chaos with courage, or did you let it defeat you? Did you find beauty in the storm, or were you too focused on the discomfort? Because here's the thing, life is chaos. It's messy, unpredictable, and full of challenges, but it's also beautiful. And when you can learn to see that beauty, even in the chaos, you start to live with a new sense of purpose. You start to realize that every moment, every struggle, every triumph is shaping you into something greater. You start to understand that you are the creator of your life, and it's within the chaos that your greatest potential lies. So, the next time you feel overwhelmed by the storms of life, remember this. You must have chaos within you to give birth to a dancing star. That star is your potential. That star is you. Embrace the chaos, love your fate, and watch as your life transforms. Now, let's move deeper into the heart of Nietzsche's philosophy and unlock something truly profound. The idea that, in embracing the eternal return, we are not merely accepting life as it comes, but transforming it into something extraordinary. I want you to imagine, just for a moment, what it would be like if every day, every choice you made, mattered in an infinite loop. If you knew, deep down, that this moment, right now, would return to you 1,000 times over, would you live differently? Would you make different decisions? Would you love deeper? Work harder? This is where Nietzsche challenges us. He doesn't just ask us to endure life. No, he asks us to elevate it, to take the ordinary, the chaotic, the difficult, and turn it into something so meaningful, so intentional, that we would choose to live it again and again for eternity. Think about that for a second. If life is a loop, if every action you take ripples infinitely through time, what would you change? What could you change? This is where the power of amor fati comes in, the love of one's fate. Not just acceptance, not just resignation, but true love for every part of your existence. Take a moment to think about that. Loving your fate means embracing everything, even the pain, even the chaos. It's about realizing that every hardship, every heartbreak, every failure has shaped you, molded you into the person you are today. And not only accepting that, but celebrating it. Now, I know what you're thinking. Loving your fate, even the hard parts, even the things you wish you could forget? Yes, especially those parts, because it's in those moments of struggle that we find our strength. It's through the chaos that we grow. It's in the darkest nights that we learn to appreciate the light. Nietzsche believed that only by embracing everything, every flaw, every mistake, every bit of suffering, can we truly live, not just survive, but thrive. So how do we do this? How do we begin to love our fate in a world that feels so uncertain, so chaotic, so full of things we can't control? It starts with a shift in mindset. It starts by recognizing that chaos is not something to be feared, it's something to be harnessed. Chaos is energy. It's the raw material of life. And you are the artist, the creator. Every day, you have a choice. You can look at the chaos in your life, the things that didn't go as planned, the unexpected setbacks, and you can see them as obstacles, or you can see them as opportunities. Opportunities to grow, to learn, to become stronger. You see, Nietzsche didn't just want us to survive the eternal return. He wanted us to embrace it, to live in such a way that if we had to do it all over again, we wouldn't change a thing. Because we would know, deep in our bones, that every challenge, every bit of chaos was necessary. Necessary for our growth, necessary for our evolution, necessary for us to become who we are meant to be. And here's the beauty of it all. When you start living with this mindset, something incredible happens. You stop fearing the future. You stop worrying about what might go wrong. Instead, you start seeing life for what it truly is. A series of moments, each one an opportunity to create something meaningful. Every challenge becomes a chance to test your limits. Every failure becomes a lesson. Every heartbreak becomes a reminder of your capacity to love deeply. When you embrace the eternal return, you stop living in fear of what might happen, and you start living in the present, fully, boldly, unapologetically. Because here's the thing, life is chaos. It's unpredictable. It's messy. It's full of highs and lows. But within that chaos, within that mess, there is beauty. There is potential. There is greatness. And when you start to love your fate, when you start to embrace every part of your journey, you unlock a power that most people never even realize they have. You become unstoppable. So let me leave you with this. The next time you find yourself in the middle of chaos, the next time life throws you a curveball, I want you to remember this moment. I want you to remember that within that chaos, within that struggle, there's an opportunity to grow, an opportunity to evolve, an opportunity to create something extraordinary. Embrace the chaos, love your fate, and live in such a way that if you had to do it all over again, you would. Because here's the truth. The greatest gift you can give yourself is the realization that life is happening for you, not to you. Every moment, every experience, every challenge is shaping you into the person you are meant to become. And when you learn to embrace that, when you learn to love that, there's nothing you can't overcome. There's no chaos too great. There's no storm too strong. Because you are the creator of your life. And it is through the chaos that you will give birth to your dancing star. Now, go and live with the kind of intensity, the kind of purpose, the kind of love that would make you proud to live this life over and over again, for eternity. Amor fati.